Hi, YouTube, and prepare to get stabbed through the screen. I just bought some new tech that can allow me to stick the sword through the screen. I'm joking. That's a really, really dumb joke. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today is, um, if you know any artists, we're all crazy. And there's a good reason for that, is because art, being creative in art, especially in today's world where everything is mass produced, a lot of art's just mass produced, we have to compete with that kind of bullshit. So we can't just we can't stay in the box with these giant, I'll just put it like this. It's like doing art is like being a gladiator, but you can't fight in the arena because the arena is full of crocodiles and humans don't do well against crocodiles. For us, real world, those crocodiles are the machines that mass produce art. So what we have to do is jump up on the sides of the arena and find interesting and creative ways to keep the audience entertained while sniping and killing those crocodiles, whether it be ripping apart the stage and throwing stuff at them, or developing poisons and acids, or opening up portals to different dimensions under them, doing weird shit like that. I don't know, I'm just... Okay, so basically what my point here is that artists today are all crazy. Yes, we are all freaking crazy. I just bought this sword and I named it Harley. I'm crazy. But not in a bad way. Why do you need to be crazy to be an artist? Is because you can't be cookie cutter and actually survive as an artist. And it breaks my heart whenever I see art schools kind of hammering in cookie cutter methods of doing art into students, because those students never succeed and they suffer for it. Technique is important, but in today's day and age, you need a mixture of a lot of technique, a lot of talent, and the most important thing is creativity. And marketing is important too, but marketing also takes creativity. And one of the things that, like, the kind of creativity for an artist, it's not just creativity, it's willingness to take risks. And it takes courage and strength to be able to do something. And another part, actually, and this is a big one, but this is one that'll get you in a lot of trouble too, is impulsiveness. If you just keep on doing the same sculptures every day, yes, you'll do well. Or maybe you'll do well. Just do whatever works. But to get truly good at art, to truly do something that is going to catch people's eyes, something outstanding that's going to get you the fame you need, you know, as an artist to actually make it and not be living paycheck to paycheck, you know what that is? That's taking risks. That's taking huge risks. Crazy risks that nobody would take before. Nobody would think for before. Jump off the barrel. And to be able to do stuff like that, you have to have a lot of bravery in you. Just taking risks, you don't just have to take the huge crazy risks. Small risks too. Try out new designs. When you're doing sculptures, don't spend forever on one sculpture. Try new things with that sculpture. And if it breaks the sculpture, so what? Move on to the next one. That's how I do my art, actually. And that's how I've gotten good at my own art. And I've known some other artists who have been really, really good. That's how they got good at theirs. Is just keep on doing it over and over again. Keep on trying new things until something works. The key to art, ironically, is insanity. But Einstein says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. I agree with that. But the insanity of art is the exact opposite. Is trying new things over and over and over again. New things. To the point where you go crazy from doing it. To the point where you find something that works. And then you take that thing that works and implement it into another sculpture. That's actually how my own sculpture works. And this is another interesting thing. I'm going to insert video games into there a little bit. I read a couple papers on how FromSoft designs their video games. And what they do is essentially that. And I think Nintendo does that too. They try new things again and again and again. And then they take things from the games that worked and they put them into other games. But it's not a copy. It's like, when I don't have my sculpture with me right now, but if you look at my sculptures, a lot of the designs are similar, but they're different. What I do is when I do one sculpture, I always try newer and newer things. I take the things that work, and then I put them onto the new sculpture. And then I try new things in that sculpture. So it's newer, 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 and newer, building on an idea, creating a new idea, tearing this idea apart, putting the part of this idea onto this idea. And it's just so much fun. It's like a spider web of ideas kind of going all throughout your mind and stuff like that. It's a total freaking blast. That's how I work. It's also how I do my martial arts training, but that's also how I get injured a lot too. Like right now, I am wearing a 40-pound vest. I was doing planks with this, which is cool. And the other thing is about doing artwork is wherever inspiration hits you, just do it. Just do your artwork wherever your inspiration hits you. And the other part of this is the perfect canvas that's always with you everywhere, especially if you're pale, pasty white like I am, is your own skin. I'm kind of joking, kind of not, but I've had the most fun doing these. Because I'll go outside and people will be like, oh, that's so cool. And be like, I'm an artist. And then I can advertise my business because I drew a tattoo on myself. It's not my best. I've had a little bit of I haven't slept enough, so I don't know, my creative juices are not working or some shit. It's just not my day-to-day, I guess. But that's the thing about art, is it's all creativity. Or, I mean, it's not all creativity. There's a lot of technique. You know, if your technique's not great, I mean, if your technique's not great, but you are extremely creative, you can still do things. It's just going to be simple. And I will do a video, actually, on helping amateur artists. I think I will. Just remember that. Yes, I will remember that. I'm going to tell myself I'm going to remember that. Oh, and another technique I use, it's not just creativity in artwork, but it's the creativity in techniques. And if you've seen it, one of the sculptures I'm working on is a replica of Firelink Shrine in Dark Souls 1. And how I get some of the texture is I bought a machete. And what I do with the machete to get the texture and to get the certain part of the clay to be even is, by the way, actually I'll finish this, is because the machete has the weight on the end of the blade, is great for precise cuts if you just drop it. So what I used it for is actually to get this kind of earthy texture by dropping the machete and pulling it along the clay. And that works. It's just like the machete was there. I'm like, okay, I'll just use the machete for my artwork. And it worked. Just try everything. The way I get my water textures, I did a video on that. Beautiful water textures. Break a piece of wood in half. Chaotic in nature, and you get good water textures. And hold on for me for a second. I'm just gonna get my dolphin sculpture. Probably gonna, ow, my knees. Bad idea. Not bad idea. Penguins. But yes, my dolphin sculpture is a wonderful piece of artwork with a great, beautiful wave texture, right? And that's how you do it. And this piece, by the way, was actually just an experiment. This is the second one I did. When I did this, there's a lot of air pockets, so I poked holes in it, though, because I wasn't really paying attention. But yeah, it's fired, so I can, you know, swing it around like this like an idiot. But yeah. It's still the paint, it's porcelain. It's porcelain. Porcelain. Is it porcelain or porcelain? But yeah, I just encourage you to try new things unless you're using glazes, which have a very specific chemistry to them. So you can try new things with that when you learn how to use your glazes correctly. Yeah. Ouch. Actually, this vest kind of hurts. Maybe I'll just take it off. That's so much better. Oh wait, I'm wearing a shirt with a logo, so I can't take it off. Whoopsies. Okay. But yeah, inspiration, all that kind of stuff. Doing artwork is all about being crazy and trying new things. And if you're an amateur artist, best thing you can do is don't criticize yourself too much. Just keep on going. The best way to learn things, there's even a paper this, is, actually there's a term for this, especially with drawing. What you gotta do is you gotta keep on working on things again and again and again and again and again. to get good at them. So when you're doing sculpture, especially if you're an amateur or something like that, just keep on doing the same sculpture again. Don't get obsessive compulsive about saving the art piece. Don't get obsessive compulsive about smoothing it out. When I started doing artwork, I mean, I was good, but I wasn't able to sell my sculptures when I started doing it. You know, nobody's that good to start off with. You got to just keep on improving your skills again and again to the point where your sculpture isn't what's important. And you just got to remember that. What's important is you. What's important is that you're getting good at this. You're improving. And just like an example of this is a great example. People who do like spinning for pots, they can spin out a pot in about 5 seconds. Real easy for them. Or another good example of this is like a good martial artist. You know, you can throw a punch with 1,000 pounds of force like that, or some shit, in 5 seconds. Spinning a pot or throwing a punch, same thing. Both of those require an amount of calmness and technique that takes hours and hours and hours to perfect. Those hours and hours and hours to perfect that punch didn't take, you know, a second to throw. If you really think about it, it's all of the practice behind it. All of the practice, foundation. Same thing works with art. Practice, 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 and try new things. Don't do the same thing over and over again. Try new things. Go out of your comfort zone. Because if you never go out of your comfort zone, you'll never learn your style. It's like college. Trying new things. It's just like... Also, the other thing with art in general, or sculpture, is you may not be good at one thing in sculpture, but you may be excellent at another thing. That's another thing. Some people are really good at designs. Some people are really good at designs, but really shitty at doing faces. You can still be a good artist and be bad at a section of that art. That's another thing. I just figured out that I'm gonna have a really hard time naming this video. And you can be like me. You can suck at making YouTube videos and not know how to edit for shit, but actually be somewhat good at coding. Ish. So, there you go. Know your strengths. The thing is, you're going to be constantly learning about your strengths and weaknesses. Art is a journey. Art is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful journey. I've had way too much coffee. It's also 1 a.m. in the morning, and I think I woke up half my neighbors. So, actually, I probably haven't. I've never actually woken my neighbors up. I'm just bored. This quarantine's driving me nuts. Bye, everyone. Sleep well.